Vanakkam and hello all. Welcome to the third episode of GOOGLIES with HOEY podcast. And in this episode, we have a very special guest today, and he's the first of many international cricketers to be featuring on my show. And it's none other than Gavin HOEY. Gavin HOEY represented Ireland in Test and ODIs, and he's one of the recent debutants to make his debut in Test matches, and he also made his debut in ODI cricket in 2024. And he is a well-known name in the Irish cricketing circuit, and he's registering his name in the international cricket fraternity as well. So follow along and let's talk to Gavin about his career, how he pursued his education and cricket at the same time, and how he made it to the Ireland team, and much more. A huge shout out to Raj Punamia, my friend and fellow cricketer from Adamstown Cricket Club, and also Gavin's cricket mate from Dublin University team. So Raj contacted Gavin on my behalf and set this podcast up. Thank you, Raj. Do follow along and let me know in the comments below how the show went. Thank you. Hello all. Welcome to the third episode of GOOGLIES with HOEY podcast, and we have a special guest today, which is Gavin HOEY, the new debutant for Ireland. So we're going to have 4 segments. So the first segment is going to be called Free Hit, where we're going to chat about just regular conversational things about his family and how he got interested in cricket and things like that. And the second episode is called DRS, where we will be reviewing some of the decisions he made and his career and reflections and things like that. And the third episode is called Free Hit, which is going to be rapid fire, and I'll be putting Gavin on the spot and see if he comes out of it. And the fourth episode is the run chase, which is going to be the future vision and everything else going forward. Okay, Gavin, let's get rolling. Are you excited to be on the show? Are you nervous? Are you good?
Yeah, absolutely. No, I'm all good. I know Raj was telling me all about the podcast, and I'm looking forward to it. Yeah.
Oh yeah, thank you so much. Okay, the first round is Free Hit, an icebreaker round, getting to know you better for the audience and for myself. So, who is Gavin in your perspective?
Well, I guess I am me. I'm an aspiring professional cricketer. I'm hoping to become a professional cricketer full time, and yeah, I'm also graduated from Trinity last year, and yeah, I'm very passionate about my cricket, but I'm also passionate about my family and friends. So yeah, that's
Nice.
how I describe myself. Yeah.
And what did you graduate on? What did you study in Trinity?
I studied BESS, so it's business and economics.
Oh, nice.
Is what
Okay.
I specialised in, and yeah, I'm now continuing my studies in the ACCA accounting exams. So I'm
Oh,
trying to
okay.
keep doing that while I'm playing cricket as well. So they're on the side.
Yeah, and it's quite hard to balance both, especially when you're a professional cricketer and coming up the ranks. I'm pretty sure you'd find ways to counter it, but how do you do it easily?
Yeah, it's definitely a challenge, and it's definitely not easy. But it was the same with university. You kind of have to lock in when you have a little bit of downtime in terms of the cricket stuff, and even when you're on tours, you can when you've days off, you've got to try and make the most of them in terms of your studies. And basically, when you're home, you've got to prioritize getting your assignments in as soon as you can and things like
Yeah.
that. But for these exams now, it's trying to get the head down as best I can. I'm not in the World Cup squad, so I have a couple of quiet months, so I can try and get the head down and get through a couple of exams.
Yeah, that's good. I'm an engineer myself, and I know how hard it is, but I don't play professionally. Even playing semi-professionally, you have to
Yeah,
balance everything. You have to do good
exactly.
practice to be a good player.
Yeah.
So it is quite difficult. And we know your dad represented Ireland in about 30 odd games, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah.
And this was before Ireland became a full member nation. And I just Googled it up, and he was a leg spinner himself, wasn't he?
He was, yeah. Dad is a
Yeah.
very good bowler.
And how much of an influence was he in your career, like pursuing cricket? And did he support you, or how
A
did he
big
go
time.
about it?
Yeah, dad's been massive for me. I've been very open about that. I've been going to his games since I was a toddler, and I'd be running around the boundary playing. And when Dad would be in the batting innings, he'd be playing with me, playing his cricket with me. So he didn't get a rest, even when he was playing in those years. But no, Dad played for Ireland and he bowled his leggies. I didn't see him back when he was playing for Ireland. Obviously, I wasn't around, but I actually was lucky enough to play with him in Trinity and bowl in tandem with him. So that was a cool experience.
Oh, nice. So for people that don't know about Gavin's dad's name is Connor, and he also played for Ireland before Ireland became a full member nation. I think it was between 1991 and 1995, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah, it sounds about right.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, perfect. And growing up in the mid 2000s, you would have seen cricket evolve in Ireland, and not so many games probably back then. Or how was it like? How was it different from now?
Um, from what I remember, I would remember going to a lot of club games, like my dad's games, watching that, like when I was young. And as I said, walking around the boundary, playing with friends in the nets, watching the first team down in Pembroke and Terenure. I went to Pembroke when I was 10, and I would have been in Terenure before that. Dad was playing there. And then watching games in Trinity, Dad played in Trinity. So again, just playing around in the nets, watching the games. But then there was also, not that I was all over it, but the Irish circuit, the international team started to do very well. Obviously, Kevin O'Brien had that famous knock against England. There were
Yes,
wins
yeah.
against Pakistan. So all these things started to give the cricket a bit more popularity again and a bit of interest. And I think I would have been interested anyway, but it definitely helps when other people know about it as well. It makes it seem not as rare to be involved.
Yeah, true. And my first memory of Irish cricket was watching them play against South Africa and India in 2006. I think it was in Belfast. There was a tri-series between South Africa, India, and Ireland, and that's when I saw the likes of Boyd Rankin and Kevin O'Brien, Niall O'Brien, and all these guys. And I think early 2000s to the like till 2015 was the golden period of Irish cricket, in my opinion. That's when the team emerged, and a lot of people outside of Ireland came to know about the Irish cricket team.
Yeah, I would have been very young, but in the latter years, like I've been lucky enough to be coached by or to play a couple of games against the likes of Will Porterfield. I've been lucky enough to play with Sterlo and against Sterlo. Uh, Boyd has done a bit of coaching. All these guys, and to be able to have seen them play and then to play with them in their latter years in their career, it's been pretty cool.
Yeah, and I think along with Kevin O'Brien in 2011, George Dockrell became so famous in India because he got the wicket of Sachin Tendulkar, and he was only 16 or 17 at the time. So it was that's when people started noticing, oh my God, there's a young spinner coming up the ranks, and this Irish team is doing so well. And that victory against England, we still remember that. Not being Irish, I think for you guys it was really special watching the World Cup and that knock, the special knock from Kevin O'Brien as well.
Yeah, for sure. I was pretty young, so I've vague memories of all of this, but
Yeah, yeah.
one of my core memories was going to watch Ireland play against England in Malahide, and that was a really cool experience. I remember it being an entertaining game. I think Owen Morgan was playing for England that day, so it was
Oh yeah.
cool to see. Yeah.
And I think also the 2019 Test match where Ireland defeated England in England, which is another. Did they defeat them?
No, no.
No,
Didn't
okay,
beat
but
them.
they did well. I remember the first ball of the Test match, Mark Adair got a wicket. I think I vaguely remember that. Yeah, that's good. Okay, moving on. So, have you always dreamt of being a spinner, or did you try your luck in fast bowling or something else as well?
I was actually a fast bowler for all of my youth cricket, all the
Really?
way up until COVID-19 when I changed to bowling leg spin. Yeah, I
Oh, wow.
played Irish underage the whole way up as an opening bowler, bowling away swing. Um,
Right.
and yeah, that was until I tried to play for the under 19s. I was in the under 19s team for our World Cup qualifiers, but then I got a stress fracture the week before the qualifiers, so I actually didn't end up going. Um, but yeah, so I took a break for about a year in terms of the bowling because I played as a batsman the following season, which was COVID. And then during the COVID lockdowns, I used to go down to Blackrock College, which is down the road from me. And myself and Dad would have a bowl on the running track. There's a little running track, 100 meter. So we'd use that, and he started trying to see if I'd bowl a few leggies because the seamers were still sore. So yeah, it kind of took off from there. I've still got the videos from those days, which is strange to look back on, but it's definitely where it all started. Yeah.
To be honest, I honestly didn't know about this. I thought you were a spinner all the time because I've seen you bowl on YouTube and also in Adamstown when you guys played. So I thought this guy is a really good spinner and he must be a spinner all his life, but this is a surprise to me.
Yeah.
Good to
No.
know.
Yeah. No, it's definitely an interesting one.
Yeah, yeah. And who's your favorite like spin bowler of all time?
Um, I think Shane Warne. You can't really look past Shane Warne, but I've been lucky enough to. I didn't really get to watch Shane Warne, but I've been lucky enough to be coached by Stuart McGill a little bit. But
Oh wow.
so that was a pretty cool. I never really watched, but I've just seen highlights of these guys. In the modern era, I'd say Adil Rashid is probably my. I really love watching him bowl. I think he's an absolute genius.
Yeah,
Um,
that's good.
and yeah, I'm lucky enough to be coached by our spin coach Chris Brown, who's been absolutely amazing. He came in the last couple of years, and he's been just game changer for me in terms of developing my leg spin. And yeah, I owe him a lot of credit for how I've developed over the last few years.
Oh, that's lovely. And like Stuart McGill has always been an underrated cricketer because he was overshadowed by Shane Warne's
Yeah,
fame and like the talent that he had. That's good. Adil Rashid is also one of my favorites. In the emerging modern game, he still throws the ball up and then like flights it, gives it the loop. He is a really hearty bowler.
yeah, he's got all the variations, doesn't he?
True, yeah, yeah.
He varies it. I was watching him play against Ireland in Malahide, and he has so many different balls. Even in a T20 game, he's able to
Yeah.
showcase all of them. Yeah,
And who's your favorite Irish cricketer? You
my
can name a
favorite.
few if you want. Yeah.
I won't name because I'm playing with them the whole time. I can't name any favorites. No,
Okay.
all of them.
Right. You can name a few retired players if you may.
Um, yeah, I'm lucky enough to have played with Kevin O'Brien. Was definitely watching him play as a kid was always pretty cool. I'm lucky enough to have played with him in the Leinster team. Um, and then like all the guys there at the moment are still there. I really look up to all of them that are playing for Ireland at the moment. It's really cool to be able to share the pitch with them every so often when I get to play. And even training with them the whole time is just it's brilliant. Yeah, so I'm trying to be a bit of a sponge and soak up as much information and knowledge as I can because they're all so experienced. Yeah, it's great.
That's good. Yeah, I think like I have a few favorites as well in the Irish side. I love Paul Sterling. He resembles Virendra Sehwag when he bats. He just goes from ball one. I watched the game in Malahide, the T20 where it went to the wire to the last ball, where I think Ireland lost by five runs in 2022. 2022, yeah. I think he scored a century in that game, or he was close to a century. And that innings was an amazing innings. Like he hit few balls out of the ground. And I've been watching him since my teens, should I say, and he's been one of my favorites from the Irish squad, and a few of them like Kevin O'Brien, Mark Adair, and all of them. So yeah, it is a great side now, and given the history of Irish cricket and how it emerged, I think you guys are doing really well. I hope you guys make it in the T20 World Cup to the semifinals and then so on as well.
Yeah, so they had a good win against Italy this morning. So
Oh yes, yeah, I saw the scores.
hopefully they can take all that form in Dubai. They're training out there at the moment, so they're playing a few warm up games, and hopefully they can win a few more games there and then take that form into the World Cup. It'd be
Yeah, that's
really
good.
really great for Irish cricket if we can do well in that World Cup. Yeah.
Yeah. And who's your favorite all-time favorite cricketers? In you can name them in three formats, like apart from Ireland.
Um, Adil Rashid again is definitely up there. I've always loved watching somebody like AB de Villiers batting. Trying to think who else. Always been fond of watching Owen Morgan succeed as well. That was always really cool to see an Irishman do so well in all formats and seeing how it's possible to do that. And same with Ed Joyce when he went over and Boyd. So those three guys, like they, although they were playing for England, it was really cool to see that Irish guys can do so well on that sort of circuit.
Okay, that's good. Yeah. I mean, like the likes of Owen Morgan, a lot of people know that he is an English cricketer, but not a lot of people know that he is Irish and moved to England, and like the exchange works like that. So, yeah. What's your favorite Irish food?
My favorite Irish food. Well, I'm drinking a coffee at the moment. It's not food, but I'm drinking a few too many coffees at the moment.
All right.
Barry McCarthy's got me onto the coffee machine.
All
So
right. Okay.
yeah.
Is it
So
black or coffee with milk you
no,
prefer?
it's milky coffee, a flat white.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice. And what's your favorite cuisine when you're traveling, or is there a favorite cuisine?
Um, I think trying to keep it as simple, like chicken, rice, veg, especially in countries where we're not so used to the food that's there. Trying to keep it plain and simple to avoid any issues there.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. So I try and keep it as clean and simple as possible.
Yeah, did you try local food in UAE and Bangladesh when you were there?
I did. I got a bit of an upset stomach in Bangladesh, so I ended up resorting to very simple foods, even just rice for a few weeks. So that was tough enough, but it's all an experience, I guess. And yeah, I do try and uh,
Keep
dive
it
into the
simple.
local cuisine as well and the culture because it's always interesting.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, I mean, when you're playing, especially, you need to take care of your health. I mean, once your games are done and before your flight, maybe
Yes,
try
exactly.
try local cuisine
That's
and
it. Yeah.
explore. Yeah, that's good. And apart from playing cricket, have you tried any other sports? I know you play a bit of golf, don't you?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm a keen golfer. I play a lot. I play out in Portmarnock Golf Club. So I've played for a few of the teams out there, which I've really enjoyed. I've been playing since I was a kid. And I've also played hurling when I was younger. I went to school in Nave Olaf and played in that club there, St. Olaf's. And I really enjoyed the hurling. I gave that up in when I went to Blackrock in when I was about 13. And I took up rugby then from the age of 12, 13. So I've
So
always
you've
had
played all the
you
games.
yeah, I played a lot. I was very sporty as a child, so
Ah, that's
but
good.
then I always had a keen eye on the cricket. I was always keen to see where that would take me.
That's a bit rare in the Irish circuit because all my friends are interested in the Gaelic sports, and
Hmm.
cricket is just news to them,
Yeah,
So yeah,
yeah.
that's good. And you said you've graduated recently and you are balancing both your education and your cricketing career. And why do you think education is important? The reason why I'm asking this is I post videos on Instagram as well and vlogs. Like when I'm playing, I record vlogs and post it. A lot of people DM me from India, and all they ask is they want to play professionally, but they couldn't cope up with their education and things like that. They just want to give up education to play cricket. So how do you see that?
Yeah, I think it's really important because I guess especially in sport, you're only really one bad injury away from not being able to play again, and that's not to be negative about it, but that's just the reality that these things can happen, and even form wise, if it starts to take a downturn and you don't play well, then you need to have a backup plan, and I think having a backup plan almost takes that pressure off yourself. You can just be a bit more free when you are playing, and you're not worried about. It's not a necessity to do well. You try your best, and hopefully it works out, but it definitely takes a little bit of that pressure off your back. But it is tough. It's tough to balance it out. But as I said before, it's try to make the most of your downtime and try and see if you can get ahead of the game, but before your busy periods like the summer in Ireland. And yeah, I think the accounting exams I'm doing at the moment are quite flexible, which is great. So that really suits me at the moment.
Oh, that's good. I think education is really important, even if you are playing at a professional level, probably having a degree might help you. Like you said, form is temporary, and injuries are a major concern because not a lot of cricketing, like even the state teams back in India and other countries, they don't pay the players enough to run their life if they have an injury or so. So I think it is a good point you made, where it's very uncertain in terms of injuries and things like that, and also to keep up with the sport and form, it is actually a good thing. Yeah, okay, we have come to an end on the segment one, so we are jumping into segment two, which is DRS, which is going to be reflections in your career and the decisions you've made, and so on. So, how do you feel walking into the Irish dressing room for the first time, playing at the international level?
Yeah, I think there's definitely nerves in there, but I think we're Irish cricket. We're quite lucky that we play against each other a lot in the Interbro system, so everybody knows each other, and we play with a good few guys who are in that Irish squad on that Leinster team. So I've been playing for Leinster for the last 4 years, I'd say. So I definitely have got to know a good few of the guys, and I know them well now. And you train together the whole time, so I've been involved in the trainings for about 3 years. So it's it's definitely a bit nerve wracking coming into the actual change room and getting onto the pitch, but those guys are all supportive for me, and yeah, like because you know them so well, I guess it's a bit of a rarity. It might be different to in England, for example, that sort of situation.
Yeah, true. Yeah. I mean, you've played with these guys enough. It doesn't feel like you're playing for some other team. It's like you might feel like playing for the domestic team again because you've all played together.
Yeah.
And I feel like the culture here and in other Western countries is so much different from what I've seen. And there's no senior, junior, or hierarchy kind of a thing. Everyone's supporting each other and then making yourself comfortable.
Yeah, that's it. All the guys that we're very lucky to have a great set of players that are all very welcoming to any new guys coming in. So it's a really positive environment to be in, and
Okay, that's good.
that hopefully allows good results as well on the pitch and good outcomes. Yeah.
And tell us about your test debut in Bangladesh. You had a really good game. Like you picked 4 wickets, and the second innings was a gritty knock, 37 of 100 odd balls. So how did that go for you?
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. I guess I made my international debut in Abu Dhabi the previous year, so it was a long time in between games for Ireland, so that was always a bit of a frustration for me, but that's just the way selection goes at times, which is fine. But I was really looking forward to getting involved, and once I realized I was going to play a game out in Bangladesh, I was really excited, and yeah, I was just absolutely delighted to make my test debut and for it to go as well as I could have hoped it to go. I was very pleased with. Yeah, it's a tough place to go and play, even as a spinner, where it's slightly spin friendly conditions. They're amazing players of the spins. To even bowl well, I was happy with. Yeah, exactly.
And what about your batting? The gritty knock in the second innings.
Yeah, we were behind the eight ball for that day, so Curtis and a few of the lower order were grinding away. Scrad put in a good shift, and Jordan Neal also put in a shift. So we were just trying to bat out the day if we could, give it as good a go as we could. And Curtis, it was amazing. He faced nearly 300 balls, which was very impressive. So I was just trying to hang in there with Curtis as long as I could. And I know I back myself with the bat at times. I'm able to bat, which also gives me confidence when I go into those situations and people don't expect you to be able to hold the bat.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's actually deceptive. You know you're a good batter, and the opponents take you lightly or
yeah,
take you for
sometimes.
granted. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good. And my next question, I think you almost answered my next question. So it was about how did you adjust to the conditions in Bangladesh? I know I've seen you bowl, you are slightly quicker through the air and a bit flatter. And in Bangladesh, where spin-friendly conditions, the ball turns square. Did you have to adjust something, or did your style of bowling help you in Bangladesh and UAE as well?
Um, think the UAE is very different. The wickets are a lot flatter and a lot more dead. Um, but Bangladesh, we rocked up the day before the test match, and the wicket looked almost like it was almost just mud
Yeah.
with the slight bits of grass. But it looked almost completely different than when they had it fully prepped for the day of the test match for day one.
Wow.
So it was, yeah, I definitely probably bowled a little bit slower than I would have liked to looking back, but I was dealing with a few different issues. I had as I said before, I managed to get the gut issue where I was fond of going to the toilet, unfortunately. So I had to look after that. So I was a little bit off. I was resorting on painkillers and things like that to get me through the first few days. So it was tough, but I was also just trying to get it down the other end in a good area and try and spin the ball as hard as we can, which is what our coach Chris Brown is always telling us to do. So I think that pace might have been slightly slower because of those other issues. It might have been slightly more fatigued quickly, but yeah, I was trying to bowl as fast and spin the ball as quickly as I could. Yeah.
And you bowled numerous number of overs, and how did you manage to do that in the condition you were in?
Yeah, no, I was fine. It picked up after day one. To be honest, I felt a lot better and I was more comfortable. But yeah, I was like, we trained really well in our build up. We had a training camp out in Dubai, and I didn't play the first test match, so I got a bit of a rest there in Sylhet, and I was training hard myself during lunch and tea breaks and things like that. So I was ready and raring to go for that test match. So I was ready to give it a go, and I really enjoyed getting the opportunity.
Oh, that's good. And did you believe that you belong at this level at some point in time when you played these matches for Ireland so far?
Yeah, I think that test match went a little bit better than I was expecting. I thought I would struggle a little bit because they're such good players of spin. I thought I would struggle, but I was very happy with how I bowled, and I think on another day could get a little bit more luck sometimes, but that's just the way it is. But I was overall happy with how it went. And it's just with the lack of first class cricket under my belt, it's a little bit trickier kind of learning on the job in some regards, and you've got to try and learn quickly as the game progresses and try to figure out different situations. But I'm very lucky to have the guys with such experience on that team that were able to guide me through it. So that was very helpful.
And how was your feeling when you knew that you were going to play for Ireland in Test cricket? Because Test cricket is something big for a lot of cricketers, and that's the format that a lot of people aspire to play. So how did you feel? Did your coach tell you the night before, or did you know on the day, and how did you react to it?
Yeah, Bal would have told me at training the day before, which was just not a sense of relief, but just a really proud moment for myself. Worked really hard at my cricket, and to be able to get the opportunity, it just feels really like a bit of a monkey off your back to try and play again. So just an immense sense of pride for your country, and very proud of myself to get there. And I know my family are proud of me to have played Test cricket now. And yeah, I guess just really happy, just sheer delightment. And now I guess it's not about just being happy to play, but it's now can I try and perform a little bit more and hopefully play a bit more for Ireland.
Yeah, brilliant. And did the A tours help you in the preparations to play Test cricket? Because you played against Sri Lanka and Afghanistan in the UAE, didn't you?
Yeah, that was in April. I was actually captain of the Wolves, which was a great experience for me to try and figure out, especially in that 4-day game against Afghan. That was very tough. The wicket was completely dead. There was nothing in it, and I had to bowl a lot of overs myself and Keane Robertson were in tandem for a good while of the good period of the game. And it was much warmer there. It was close to 40 degrees for that 4-day game. So we were up against a seriously experienced Afghanistan A side, and that showed. We were behind the 8 ball early, and it was a bad toss to lose, but they're very good players, and that was definitely helped me going into Bangladesh there. Just as an experience, you see how tough first class cricket can be, and especially Test cricket, it's even a step up from that. So
Yeah, and also like for a player like yourself, grown in Ireland, and to compete against people who are like familiar with the conditions in the subcontinent and they've played all their life there, they might struggle here when, you never know, they might struggle against swing or bounce or whatever. But for you guys to adapt to those conditions, I think it's actually a really tough job. And that that A tour for you would have been a game changer in like playing the international level as well.
yeah, absolutely. We played a bit more one day cricket after that 4 day game, and our results started to pick up slightly, and we started to get used to it, and you could see people figuring it out how it is best to go about it in this situation of the subcontinent, um, in those conditions. And yeah, I think we all developed a few different game plans and learnt as much as we could from that tour. And you can see a few guys coming through into the full Irish side now, and that's really good to see. Yeah.
Yeah, that's good to hear as well. And is there a piece of advice that someone gave you, like your coach or your dad, that changed the way you played the game, or that instilled some thought in your mind differently from what you were doing originally?
I don't know if anybody in particular. I think coaches in general have been very good to me in terms of just trying to back yourself, trying to get yourself into a mindset where you're not fearing failure, you are just excited to perform. And I guess like Chris Brown has been really good, that even when it's not going your way, he's still saying, look, you're doing the right things, you just need to stick to the process, it'll work. So that I've taken a lot of confidence out of that, and seeing it actually work means a lot to me. And when like cricket's a tough game, you've more bad days than good days, so enjoy the good days, but also just try and stay level when you do have bad days, and not completely throw the towel in.
Yeah, that's true. And a good coach can influence you big time and make great changes in your career as well. And I think Chris has done that to you and to many more players, I believe, in the Irish circuit. Oh, that's good. And if you get a chance to play in the IPL, which team would you play? And BBL as well. Have you registered with IPL before, or?
No, I haven't. I've a lot to do before I can register for them or have a realistic chance of playing in the IPL. I'll have to start playing in the T20 for Ireland, and then a few performances away from that, I'd say.
Okay,
But
that's good. Yeah.
again, I'd like to keep my options open. I'd love to have that opportunity if I manage to do well in international cricket. So that would be amazing. Yeah.
And is there any team that you would want to play in?
Um, Not necessarily. I don't really follow it that. I'd be more of a fan of the long format of cricket, but I enjoy the IPL, watching it the odd time. But it's not a bowler's game. It gets very repetitive. It's very much so six hitting competition, but it's an amazing skill, but it's different to what I'd be trying to achieve in my cricket at the moment.
That's a good perspective because a lot of people these days want to play T20 cricket to make quick money and fame as well. And there are certain kind of players that they're aligned more towards Test cricket, but I feel even if you are a player like that, there are aspirations that people need to play IPL or like a big bash league to earn quick money. I think your perspective is quite different from a lot of people I've spoken to, so that's good. And we hope to see you a lot more in Test cricket in Ireland and in other countries as well. That's good. What is there a venue in the world that you would like to play at, or play in?
I'd love to. I'm a member of the MCC, and I'd love to play a game at Lords. And then I've also spent a little bit of time in Australia, so the SCG would be amazing, and the MCG. I've watched games, test matches at those, and both are an extremely amazing venues. And they'd be like, the MCG crowd is just incredible. To play in such an amazing stadium, such a large ground, with such a great crowd would be incredible. also Lords is just such a special place. Really love to. I've watched a few test matches there now, and it's the chilled vibe that they have is just amazing, and so much history in that ground. It would be amazing to be able to walk onto that pitch. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's about more about the vibe in all these grounds you mentioned and the crowd as well. Like it is electrifying. And is there any other ground in the subcontinent or in Asia that you want to play at?
I look at Sri Lanka. Galle is meant to be amazing. I'd love to play
Yeah,
a
good for
test match there.
spinners.
Yeah, it's meant to be an amazing place to play. Very hot, but beautiful beside the beach. So that'd be another one that I'd love to play in.
Yeah, close to the fort as well. It's a beautiful ground, and it is a dream for spinners to play there. And
Yeah.
whichever spinner played, I think Nathan Lyon made his debut there. I'm not sure, but he made his debut in Sri Lanka, and he got his first wicket of the first ball. And Sri Lanka could be such a good country to be a spinner in. Yeah, let's hope that happens to you as well. So we are moving on to the third segment. So thank you for the first two segments. The third segment is called Googlies, and I will be throwing some Googlies at you and try to put you on the spot. And let's see how you cope up with that. So it is this or that or like rapid fire. So feel free to skip questions if
Okay.
you're not comfortable
Yep,
with that.
I'll try my
There,
best.
there are no questions like that, but still,
Okay.
Yeah, so do you prefer a turning track or a flat track to bowl?
Definitely a turning track. It's much more
That's
fun.
good. And big turn or subtle drift?
Big turn. Big turn's always fun. You can use all your tricks.
But I've seen you bowl with big drift. I watched a few games on YouTube, like the IP50 and T20 as well for Leinster Lightning, and you drift the ball like way too much for my liking. But then it skids on as well. That is so deceptive. That's what I felt. You are a special bowler. That's good. And flight it up or fire it in?
I probably need to work on my flight, so I'd say firing it in is probably easier for me.
Okay. And do you prefer bowling to a left-hander or a right-hander?
I like bowling to both, but mostly right-handers is nicer. You can try and spin the ball away from them the majority of the time. Yeah.
And do you like dot balls or wickets?
I think every bowler likes wickets, I think. Big time.
So do you not want to put the pressure on the opposition by dot balls and then?
Oh, I'd absolutely. If you could take dot balls and wickets, that'd be amazing. It's a good recipe.
Yeah, true. And do you prefer a dry subcontinent pitch or a damp grass pitch?
Oh, I'd say a dry subcontinent pitch for sure.
Okay. And would you prefer to pick up a test fifer or score a test century?
Oh, I'd love to take a test five as a bowler. It would be an amazing achievement for me. A test century would be unbelievable, but I think I've a better chance of taking a fiver, hopefully.
You were this close to getting a 50 in your first test debut.
Yeah, I just needed to keep my concentration for a little bit longer, and that would have been. But that's why it's Test cricket, I guess.
Yeah, true. It is a game of patience and resilience, as
Yes.
they say. And who's your favorite contemporary spin bowler? I think you answered this question, but
Yeah.
I'll let you answer again.
I'll go for Adil Rashid for sure.
Okay, brilliant. He would be delighted to hear that as well because he comments on each and every bowler's Instagram profile on their videos, and that's so encouraging for a lot of them. I think he'll be happy to see. Do you prefer hikes or night outs?
Hikes or
Night outs.
I would say a night out. Yeah,
Right.
for sure.
Okay, not a hike person, are you?
I like hikes as well, but definitely in college I've had plenty of nights out.
Right. And do you prefer post-match tea or a post-match pint?
Definitely a post-match pint. Yeah.
A pint of Guinness.
Yeah, we have a nice bar down in Pembroke, so plenty of them after a game on a Saturday.
Yeah, I've been there too. We've had quite a few pints there in Pembroke and in a lot of other grounds, and that's why I like the culture here. And I've played in New Zealand as well, and Like it's similar to what we see in Ireland and back in New Zealand as well. Like we're just opponents on the field, but when it comes to post matches, like we sit together and have a pint and then just brush it off.
That's it. Yeah, it's a
Yeah,
very social sport in Ireland, and it's a very nice sport to play. Yeah.
yeah. I think you've answered my next question as well. What's your favorite format, Test ODI or T20s?
Yeah, I'd say I like, to be honest, I'd probably like one day cricket the most to play, because you get the balance of the intensity and the bowling a decent spell, but also sometimes you get a chance to bat, which I enjoy. I really enjoy the Test match as well, but definitely those two rather than I just haven't played as much T20 cricket, so I think I'll hopefully learn the skills of that as I go on, and hopefully fall in love with that game as well.
Lovely. And what's Ireland's status now in terms of qualifying for the 2027 50 over World Cup?
I believe we have to go to a World Cup qualifiers, so I'm not sure where that venue is, but hopefully we can get the job done and make it into that for the 50 over World Cup. Yeah, for sure.
And it's in South Africa as well. It'll be a new
Yeah.
experience playing in
Yeah.
beautiful grounds.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Oh, lovely. And we've come to the last segment of this segment. So last part of this segment. So
Yep.
I will ask you to give me a favorite bowler out of the list I'm gonna give you. So who do you think is the best spinner, Ashwin or Lyon?
I think Lion.
Right. Lyon or Harbhajan Singh?
I'd say Lion.
Right. Lyon or Graham Swan?
I'd say Lion again.
Okay. Lyon or Anil Kumble?
See, I haven't seen enough of Anil Kumble, but I'll go with my fellow leg spinner. I'll say Anil Kumble.
Okay. And Anil Kumble or Muthaiya Muralidharan?
Oh, I think Muralitharan.
Okay. And the last one, Murali or Shane Warne?
Shane won.
Right. So Shane Warne wins it ultimately.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, he's my favorite spinner too, no doubt. Okay, so we've come to the last segment of this podcast, and it's called the Run Chase, where we are going to discuss about the future and vision with Gavin. So, what's your next big tournament that you are willing to that you are excited about?
I think those World Cup qualifiers for the 2027 50 over World Cup. I think if I can try and get involved in that 50 over squad again and try and really nail down a position in that team, that would be really exciting for me, and hopefully we can get the job done there and go into it and play in a World Cup in 2027. That would be a huge goal of mine.
Yeah, and upset a few other countries as well, like South Africa or some other
Absolutely,
big
yeah.
match players. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which Ireland has done in the past. Like they've upsetted Pakistan, England, South Africa in different World Cups, and I'm looking forward for the 2027 World Cup as well. And what part of your game are you still focusing on to improve?
I think with leg spin, it's constantly trying to come up with new things. Like I'm trying to see if I can develop a flipper at the moment, but it's obviously a big challenge. But in terms of the bowling, just consistency, trying to hit my length as much as I can and spin the ball as hard as I can, as Brownie always says to me. And then in the batting, it's just trying to keep developing and see if I can keep pushing on to try and become a proper all-rounder.
Yeah, that's good. And where do you see Irish cricket in the next 5 to 10 years?
Where do I see it? I'd like to see us playing a little bit more regularly. That would be amazing. Playing as much as the other test nations in terms of test cricket, that would be really cool. It was cool to see Zimbabwe play so many test matches this year.
Yeah.
Something like that would be amazing in the next few years for Ireland. And yeah, I think that would be and I think if we can try and qualify for every World Cup, that would be ideal. Obviously, that's a dream, but hopefully we can get the job done because we know we're well capable of that.
Yeah, that's good. And what role do you think spinners are playing in Ireland's future for the likes of you yourself, Matt Humphrey, and Andy McBride, who's been there for the for the longest of time in the Irish cricket as a spinner, and it's a challenge to be a spinner in these conditions, I know. But what do you think is the future of Irish cricket and the spinners?
Yeah, I guess I hope there is a bright future for the three of us. I hope we can all keep going well and influencing the performances, putting in performances for our country and home and away. But I guess all of us kind of understand that we've more of an opportunity away from home in the subcontinent, for example, especially in the longer format. So I guess when we get there, it's to try and be ready as ready as we can and keep improving. And when we're at home, it's a slightly different role. We mightn't play as many spinners in the team, but if you're bowling, you want to just try and bowl as well as you can.
Yeah, that's true. And do you guys help each other out in like observing each other's bowling and giving some useful tips to each other?
Yeah, absolutely. I think I really got a sense of that in the test match in Bangladesh. Myself, Homefand, Scra, Andy McBride we're communicating so much and trying to help each other out in terms of how we think we could take a wicket at each different phase of the game. And it's just been brilliant to see. We know Scra is so consistent and has been a great performer for Ireland for many years now. And it's great to see Humph doing so well. And he took 4 for today again. So
Yeah,
he's been doing brilliantly. And I've played with him in university and I'm a good pal of his, very close. And yeah, it's been brilliant to see him do so well.
yeah, and I think off late he's been bowling with a new ball as well in T20s, which is not a very regular thing in Ireland cricket, as far as I've seen or I've followed. So that's a good thing, like there are some good spinners like yourself and Humphreys, and they're coming up the ranks, and hopefully when Ireland gets to play more test cricket, you guys make it difficult for the other good test playing countries as well.
That's the plan. Hopefully we can keep getting better and, as you said, challenge the test playing nations, the higher ranked test playing nations as well.
Yeah, true.
Sure.
And who are you supporting in this T20 World Cup apart from Ireland?
Apart from Ireland, I love an underdog. So any of the sort of lower ranked nations, I'd love to see do well. It's always entertaining to see.
That's good. And do you have some friends in these countries like Afghanistan or the countries that are also in same status as Ireland?
Not necessarily. I wouldn't know any of them personally. Yeah, I probably played against a few of the Afghans, maybe 1 or 2 of them, and yeah, I haven't played against many of the other guys. So, no, I wouldn't know many of them.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah. And when your playing days are done, say in the future, when you turn 45 or 50 and you're still playing, right? So, how would you like to be remembered?
How would I like to be remembered at 50? Geez, I've got a lot of thinking to do for this one. No, I'd like to hopefully have a successful career in an Irish shirt and have taken plenty of wickets and hopefully contributed to some big Irish wins and some important performances in those games, and also to try and contribute with the bat as well, but just to try and do as well as I expect I can and to try and do well for the country. Yeah, that's it.
Lovely. And on a closing note, what would you want to tell the youngsters that are planning to play professional cricket and are training hard for it?
Yeah, I guess just don't be afraid to dream of, especially in Ireland, like give it a go. If it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out, but definitely don't hold back in terms of giving your cricket a go because there's some great opportunities in this country for playing cricket. And I'm lucky enough to have received a few of those opportunities, which I can only recommend highly enough.
That's lovely. Thank you, Gavin. I think we've come to the end of the podcast, and thank you so much for your patience and your elaborate answers. And I'm looking forward to collaborate with you more in the future. And I wish you good luck with your test career and your career in general as well.
Thanks very much, Mooney. Thanks for having me onto the podcast.
Yeah, thank you so much, Gavin. I'll talk to you later. Thank you.
Cheers.
Bye-bye.